When we talk about growing older gracefully, we often think about keeping our hearts strong, our minds sharp, and our energy steady. But there's one part of our body that often works quietly in the background, holding us up, keeping us moving, and protecting us every single day: our bones. For most of us, we only start to think about our bones when we hear words like osteoporosis, fracture, or bone density scan. But the truth is, our bones are living tissue. They're not just hard, lifeless structures. They are constantly being broken down and rebuilt. And the food we eat plays a powerful role in whether that rebuilding process makes them stronger or weaker. I want you to imagine your bones like a bank account. In your younger years, you made deposits: calcium, vitamin D, protein, magnesium without even thinking much about it. But once you reach your 50s, the withdrawals start to outpace the deposits. Hormonal changes, especially in women after menopause, can speed up bone loss. That's why, at this stage in life, what you eat becomes not just important, it becomes essential for your independence, mobility, and quality of life. Let's start with one of the most important building blocks: calcium. You've probably heard this advice all your life, but the way calcium works in your body changes as you age. In your 20s and 30s, your body could absorb calcium efficiently. Now, it's a little less effective, which means we need to be more intentional about where we get it from. Dairy products like yogurt, milk, and cheese are classic choices, but not the only ones. Leafy greens like kale, collard greens, and bok choy, as well as almonds, sesame seeds, and fortified plant milks, can also help you meet your daily needs. Aim for around 1,200 milligrams per day after age 50. But calcium doesn't work alone. It's like having money in your bank account that you can access without the right PIN code. That PIN code is vitamin D. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium and put it to work building bone. Without enough vitamin D, even the best calcium-rich diet won't protect you. Sunlight is a great natural source, but as we get older, our skin becomes less efficient at making vitamin D from sunlight. That means we need to look at dietary sources like fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, egg yolks, and fortified foods. Sometimes, a supplement may be necessary, especially if you live in a northern state where winters are long and dark, but food should always be your first approach. Now, I want to tell you about a patient I once met named Linda. She was 62, a retired teacher, and she came to me after she fractured her wrist from a simple fall in her garden. She had always considered herself healthy. She walked every day, stayed active, and ate what she thought was a balanced diet, but when we looked closer, she was getting less than half the calcium she needed and almost no vitamin D. She thought her daily salad and occasional glass of milk were enough. We made small, sustainable changes, adding Greek yogurt to breakfast, a serving of steamed broccoli at lunch, and baked salmon twice a week. 6 months later, her bone density scan had stabilized, and she felt stronger than ever. It's a reminder that bone health isn't just about avoiding injury, it's about building a foundation for every step you take. Beyond calcium and vitamin D, there are other nutrients your bones quietly depend on. Magnesium, for example, helps regulate how calcium is distributed in your body. Without enough magnesium, calcium can end up in the wrong places, like your arteries, instead of your bones. You can find magnesium in nuts, seeds, whole grains, and legumes. Then there's vitamin K2, often overlooked, which helps direct calcium into your bones and keeps it out of soft tissues. Fermented foods like natto, certain cheeses, and even some meats are good sources. And we can't forget protein. Many people over 50 start to eat less protein, thinking they don't need as much, but your bones are made of collagen, a protein structure, and without enough, your bones can become brittle. Lean meats, poultry, fish, beans, and tofu all provide the building blocks your body needs to repair and maintain bone strength. Think of your bones as a bridge. Calcium is the steel, but protein is the concrete holding it all together. Eating for stronger bones is not about perfection. It's about daily, consistent choices that add up over time. And just like saving for retirement, the earlier you start, the more you have in reserve, but it's never too late to make a difference. In the next part, we'll look at some hidden bone enemies, foods and habits that slowly weaken your bones without you even realizing it, and how you can make simple swaps to protect your bone health for years to come. Now that we've covered the essential nutrients your bones need, it's time to talk about the other side of the equation: what can quietly drain your bone bank account. Many people are surprised to learn that bone loss isn't just about not getting enough calcium or vitamin D. It's also about the daily habits and hidden foods that pull calcium out of your bones and make them weaker over time. One of the first culprits is excess sodium. Most Americans eat far more salt than they realize, and after age 50, our bodies become more sensitive to its effects. Too much sodium causes your kidneys to excrete more calcium through urine, essentially flushing away the very mineral your bones need. Processed foods, canned soups, fast food, and even seemingly healthy snacks can hide large amounts of sodium. Reading labels and choosing lower sodium options can make a big difference. Another bone thief is added sugar. While an occasional treat won't harm your bones, a diet high in sugary drinks, desserts, and processed snacks can cause inflammation in the body, which interferes with bone-building cells. Plus, sugary foods often take the place of nutrient-rich choices, leaving less room for the protein, vitamins, and minerals your bones crave. Then there's the role of caffeine and alcohol. A moderate amount of coffee or tea is generally fine, but excessive caffeine, more than about 3 cups of coffee a day, can slightly increase calcium loss. Alcohol, when consumed heavily, interferes with the balance of calcium and affects the hormones that protect bone. For women, more than 1 drink a day, and for men, more than 2, can become a problem over time. Now, I want to introduce you to Jim, a 58-year-old former construction worker I met at a community health seminar. He had never broken a bone in his life, but a routine scan showed early signs of bone thinning. Jim was shocked. He thought bone issues were only for fragile people. When we reviewed his diet, he admitted he drank 5 cans of soda a day, rarely ate vegetables, and his main source of protein was processed deli meat. Over the next few months, he made small changes, switching soda for sparkling water with lemon, adding a spinach salad to lunch, and grilling chicken instead of relying on cold cuts. The results were not instant, but after a year, his bone density had improved. Jim learned that prevention is not about fear, it's about choice. Beyond avoiding certain foods, it's important to understand that eating for stronger bones also means supporting your body's ability to use those nutrients effectively. That means maintaining a healthy weight. Being underweight can increase your risk of fractures because your bones have less mass to begin with, while being significantly overweight can strain your joints and make movement harder, which in turn limits the weight-bearing activity that keeps bones strong. Another hidden factor is chronic inflammation. Conditions like diabetes, arthritis, and even poor gut health can increase inflammation, which in turn damages bone. One of the most powerful ways to fight inflammation is through a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats like those from olive oil, nuts, and fatty fish. Think of these foods as bone protectors. They don't just help with bone strength directly, they create a healthier internal environment for your bones to thrive. I also want to talk about balance, not the kind that keeps you from falling, but the balance between nutrients. Many people take high doses of calcium supplements thinking more is better, but without enough magnesium, vitamin D, and vitamin K2, the calcium may not be used properly. It's like trying to build a house with a mountain of bricks but no mortar or tools. You need the whole team of nutrients to do the job. That's why a varied diet is so important. Relying on just 1 or 2 superfoods won't give your bones what they need. In fact, the healthiest bones often belong to people who eat a wide variety of whole foods with plenty of color on their plate. Think about a simple dinner of grilled salmon, roasted sweet potatoes, and steamed broccoli. In one meal, you're getting protein, vitamin D, calcium, magnesium, and antioxidants all working together to support your bones. This is where meal planning becomes a quiet but powerful tool. Instead of thinking about one perfect bone-strengthening food, think about how your meals work over the course of a week. Variety is your insurance policy for Strong bones. In the next part, we'll bring it all together with practical daily eating strategies, sample meal ideas, and ways to combine nutrition with lifestyle habits like movement and balance training. So your bones not only stay strong but help you live life fully and confidently for decades too. When it comes to turning bone health advice into real daily habits, the secret is to make it simple, enjoyable, and consistent. Stronger bones aren't built from one special meal or 1 week of perfect eating. They're built from the small choices you make every day, month after month, year after year. Let's start with breakfast. This is the perfect time to set the tone for your bones. Instead of skipping it or relying on sugary pastries, try a bowl of oatmeal topped with sliced almonds, chia seeds, and berries, paired with a glass of fortified plant milk or low-fat dairy milk. The oats give you whole grains and magnesium, the almonds and chia seeds add calcium and healthy fats, the berries bring antioxidants, and the fortified milk boosts your calcium and vitamin D. If you prefer something savory, an omelet made with spinach and mushrooms, served with whole grain toast, gives you protein, vitamin D, and magnesium all in one plate. For lunch, think about building a plate that is colorful and balanced: a salad with kale, grilled salmon, cherry tomatoes, chickpeas, and a sprinkle of feta cheese covers nearly every bone-supporting nutrient you can think of: calcium, vitamin D, magnesium, protein, and vitamin K2. Use olive oil and lemon for the dressing to keep it fresh and heart-healthy, for those who like something warm. A vegetable and lentil soup with a side of whole grain bread is comforting and deeply nourishing. Dinner is another opportunity to support your bones: grilled chicken or tofu stir-fried with broccoli, bell peppers, and bok choy over quinoa is a powerhouse combination. Broccoli and bok choy bring calcium and vitamin C for collagen formation. Quinoa offers magnesium and protein. And lean protein sources help maintain muscle mass that supports your skeletal frame. If you enjoy red meat, choose lean cuts and enjoy them in moderation, pairing them with plenty of vegetables to balance the meal. Snacks can also play a role in bone health. Greek yogurt with a drizzle of honey, a small handful of walnuts, or carrot sticks with hummus are all quick, portable, and packed with nutrients. Even something as simple as a hard-boiled egg can give you protein and vitamin D. And remember, hydration matters too. Water keeps your joints cushioned and your body functioning at its best, which indirectly supports your bones by keeping you active and mobile. Of course, eating well is only part of the equation. Your bones also respond to movement. Weight-bearing exercises like walking, dancing, or light jogging signal your bones to build more strength. Resistance training with light weights or resistance bands can help maintain muscle mass, which in turn supports your bones. Balance exercises like yoga or tai chi reduce your risk of falls, which is just as important as building bone density itself. I recall a woman named Carol, a 70-year-old grandmother who decided to join a community Strong Bones program after she noticed her balance wasn't as steady as it used to be. She started walking 3 times a week, doing gentle yoga twice a week, and adding small changes to her meals: more leafy greens, more salmon, less soda. A year later, not only had her bone density improved, but she felt more confident on her feet, she slept better, and she could play with her grandchildren without fear of falling. Her story is proof that it's never too late to make changes that matter. The key is not to overwhelm yourself. If you try to overhaul your entire diet and lifestyle in 1 week, it's easy to give up. Instead, focus on 2 or 3 changes at a time. Maybe it's adding 1 extra serving of vegetables a day, swapping soda for sparkling water, or making sure you get protein at every meal. Over time, these small steps become habits, and those habits become your new normal. Your bones, like the rest of your body, respond to the care you give them. They reward consistency, patience, and balance. So as you go forward, remember this: every glass of milk, every forkful of leafy greens, every walk in the sunshine is a deposit in your bone health account. You're not just eating to avoid fractures, you're eating to keep dancing, traveling, gardening, hiking, and living life on your own terms for as long as possible. Your bones are your lifelong partners in movement. And they deserve the same attention and respect as your heart and your mind, so feed them well. Move them often, and trust that with each intentional choice, you are building a stronger foundation for the years ahead.